Joining us now, as she does most Mondays at this time, is Ann Coulter, the New York Times bestselling author. Her latest book is Resistance is Futile. Ann, have you been enjoying these reports that CNN and MSNBC and the New York Times and the Washington Post aren't running from Tijuana, Mexico, about these demonstrations against the gravy train heading to the United States? Are you? Oh, hold on. Don't know where Ann.
Go ahead.
Okay, you there, Ann?
Go ahead.
Ann? No. All right.
Hello?
Oh, sorry, Ann. Sorry, we had a little screw up on our end.
A technical difficulty.
Yes. Have you been following the news out of Tijuana? Don't you find those signs in Spanish rather interesting? No a la invasion. What does that translate as in English, Ann? I believe invasion translates as invasion, doesn't it?
Yes. I mean, on one hand, I'm always like a reminder that the ordinary people, as opposed to the elites who want cheap maids, do not want lots of poor people coming into their country, no matter what the country is. But I'm getting a little annoyed with certain TV hosts brandishing this as if, you see liberals, even Mexicans, even they don't want these. Who cares what Mexico wants? They have an age of consent for sex of 12 in every Mexican state except one, and they may have changed that one. Who cares? I care about my own country. Yes, mildly interesting. Suppose they're hypocrites because they think they can invade our country while keeping invaders out of their country. But really, I don't care if their policy were to embrace the illegals in their country with open arms. I want to protect our country.
But I find it interesting, though, Ann, that they were more welcome when they were in the southern part of Mexico, where everybody knew they were just passing through and they weren't going to set up permanent camps there. It's kind of like they don't really mind them illegal aliens so much in Palo Alto, because they know they can't afford to live there, right? So
well, I'm not really sure about which of the demographics in Mexico are thrilled or unthrilled. But like I say, other than tweaking them on their hypocrisy, don't really care what Mexicans' reaction is. I care what is happening to my own country.
So what do you make of what's happened? At least they didn't steal the elections in Florida. And let's look on the bright side of things here today.
No, that's true, that they would have if there hadn't been, God bless all these random Republicans. I've met a lot of them. Restoration Weekend was down at the Breakers this past weekend, and I talked to a lot of Floridians, just, average people with jobs who went and participated in as watchers and doing the recounts on the alleged undervotes. That's where somebody doesn't fill out the ballot for any candidate, but the Democratic supervisors say, well, we must have meant to vote for somebody. We think it was the Democrat. And it was only because there were so many of these concerned citizens, and I think a lot of media attention to what was going on in Broward, that prevented them from stealing the election.
Yeah, Ann, I haven't checked the local media down in South Florida in a couple of hours. Have they found those missing 2,000 votes at the in Broward County yet, or are they still MIA?
No, I haven't seen any updates either. But I do think Republicans. I know Republicans are people with jobs. You could define them as people with jobs. But we're often just too happy to walk away. Okay, the election wasn't stolen this time. It wasn't stolen from Bush. Let's just forget about everything and move on. No, I think really severe measures need to be taken. And at least Florida's legislature and the governor are now Republicans, and there really have to be rules put in place. If these election supervisors in the 67 or however many counties there are in Florida, they're elected locally. If they're incompetent, then the state can run it. But the elections have to be wrapped up a day or two after the election, and there need to be controls to make sure they aren't continuing to vote after the election. Republicans are really falling down on the job by not following the Democrats' policy of beginning their get-out-the-vote drive the day after the election.
Right, and how about the fact that the Democrats send in these lawyers like Mark Elias from Perkins Coie, and he files 9 lawsuits basically seeking to overturn all of Florida's state election laws. I mean, it's mind-boggling that they even have the audacity to try something like this.
Yeah, and kind of surprising, since with the demographic changes happening, Democrats are, I mean, look at how close these elections were. And what I was just saying, Republicans just saying, oh, well, we won this one, let's just move on. Okay, look at Texas. Everyone's exalting, and I was exalting, that the governor, Governor Abbott, won his re-election by 20 points. But if you look at that election a little more closely, in fact, I don't think it was fully 20 points. It was like 18 points, but still a significant margin. He was running against an absolute loon. It was some Hispanic guy who actually came out at some point, ad-libbing, and said, we should have no borders. So I wouldn't take, I do think, there are a lot of Republicans in Texas who weren't wild about Ted Cruz, but Republicans should be terrified that what was once a red state had an election that was that close. And consider the facts, as you and I have been saying forever, watch the demographics. They're bringing in the low-wage immigrants to vote for them, to vote for them, to vote for them. That's why the Democrats want it. It's the Koch brothers who want the cheap labor. In any event, 3 out of 4 Hispanics in Texas alone, are under the age of 18. We got about 5 more years of Texas being a red state. Once Texas goes, once Florida goes, 2 incredibly close statewide elections. That will be Trump, and Trump will be 1 term, and he'll be the last Republican president we ever have. Then you can kiss your gun rights goodbye. You can kiss free speech rights goodbye. You can kiss everything goodbye.
Well, you're in a gloomy mood today, Ann.
I am in a gloomy mood.
You got to look.
The president isn't keeping his promises on immigration. That was the reason to vote for him, not because of his.
I understand.
I mean, I'll defend him on the stupid stuff he says, but it wasn't for the stupid stuff he says. It was for his policies, and instead he has Jared running criminal justice reform. I have an idea. Let's release criminals. Fantastic. That's just great. And we have no deportations of the Dreamers, as we were promised would happen on day 1. It's been 2 years, and we don't have a wall.
Did you see?
Nor even the inklings of a wall. We voted for him for policies and decided his personality didn't matter. Now his personality is really starting to annoy me because we're not getting any of the policies.
But he's still better than Hillary Clinton, Ann, and I know you're going to bite my head off for saying that. I mean, look at we got two decent Supreme Court justices. It's not over yet. I mean, if Hillary Clinton had been elected, it would be over.
And as I said a year ago, it's looking like his 2020 campaign slogan is going to be "Still not Hillary Clinton." No, you got to give us something better than that. That we got lucky. The Democrats were. They weren't paying attention. They were caught off guard. They thought Hillary had this by a mile. They're not going to run Hillary Clinton next time. Trump will choose the worst possible moment, see he's going to lose, and announce he's not running again. Oh, look, I made America great again. No, this is going to be a disaster if he doesn't wake up, fire Jared, and start doing the things that he won on.
And sometimes when I'm at home and just working at my desk, I put on the internet, the old time internet radio crime dramas, and I got one. I was listening yesterday to a show called "Calling All Cars." And it's cars like not my last name, but calling all police cars. And it's from 1938, I believe. And you're going to.
I can tell Ann is really excited about where this is going.
I am excited. This sounds fun. I want to do that.
You're gonna
I have to distract myself from the destruction of my country.
You're going to hear a phrase in what I'm about to play, and that you haven't heard in 20 years. And see if you can identify the phrase after we play the cut. Here,
make it away.
Here, what I should set it up is, this is a guy, he's been caught. He's a Portuguese singer, and they've caught him for manslaughter or something, and they're telling him he's going to go away for a while.
Well, you may get away with this. I don't know. But I do know one thing. If you ever do get out, it's back to Portugal for you.
Portugal?
Certainly. You're an undesirable alien. Very undesirable. They'll deport you.
But I cannot go back to Portugal.
Oh, why not?
Santos people, they will kill me.
That's too too bad.
See, that's what I wanted from Trump.
Yeah, I thought about that undesirable alien. You used to hear that phrase all the time.
Right.
And you know what? There were a lot fewer undesirable aliens in the country when that phrase was politically correct. Now it's practically...
Right, it was easier to identify them because there were fewer of them.
But that was the old days, Ann. That was the old days. That was 25 years plus before the Immigration Reform Act of 1965, which started all this madness that this road we're going down today.
Yes. Well, that's what we thought we were getting with Trump. He was so retrograde in many ways that may not have been particularly appealing, but still, it was a throwback to a better America, and he sure talked a good game on law and order, on immigration, on the wall, on trade deals, about caring about ordinary Americans. I mean, I don't even think it takes a genius to figure these things out. You and I have known for a decade the country is a boiling cauldron of rage at our current immigration policies. This is why we elected this guy. I would vote for a Democrat who promised to build a wall, but why should they? Why should they care about the flyover people? Why should they care about ordinary Americans? They are 5 years away from taking Texas or Florida, and then it's over. Supreme Court justices won't matter. They'll just say, "Oh, look, we decided to add a few justices to the court," and they won't care about anything.
I fear you're right, Ann. We got to get these undesirable aliens out of the country.
Yes. Yeah. We have to drop this 3D chess business with Trump and hold his feet to the fire. This is what we elected him for, not to insult the guy who led the Bin Laden raid.
All right. Ann Coulter, thanks for being with us. The title of your new book is?
Resistance is Futile, How the Trump-Hating Left Lost Its Collective Mind. They ought to listen to me. I'll tell them how to attack Trump.
All right. Ann Coulter, thanks for being with us. Talk to you next week. I'm Howie Carr.